This video is brought to you by Card Kingdom, and while supplies last, if you mention Saffron Olive in your order notes, we'll hook you up with a free Saffron Olive sticker with any Card Kingdom order. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Budget Magic. So this week, we are heading to our sweet new post-banning modern format to play a deck I'm really excited about. This is Soul-meria, basically kind of a mashup of a Soulherder deck with an Emeria deck, and just so much fun, blinky, long game value with enter the battlefield stuff. It's just a really fun, really sweet budget deck. So as you can see, about $100 in paper, 27 ticks on Magic Online. So pretty good price for just a really fun and I think pretty competitive deck. A quick reminder before we break down Soul-meria for Modern. If you enjoy this deck and you enjoy Budget Magic in general, it would be amazing of you if you take a second, click that subscribe button down at the bottom of your screen. It's a great way to support the channel and the site for free. So Soul-meria, as I said, kind of a mashup of Soulherder and Emeria. So Soulherder, you might know what this one does. We've played Bant Soulherder before. Basically, it allows us to blink a creature on our end step every turn. When a creature gets exiled, it gets a counter, so it grows bigger. But really, we're using it for that repeatable blink value, using enter the battlefield triggers with our creatures to get more and more triggers, more and more value, eventually snowball that out of control. So that's the Soulherder plan. Our backup plan, and another really important part of this deck, is Emeria the Sky Ruin. So it's been a while. We played an Emeria budget deck, I don't know, 2016 or something, a long time ago. Emeria, essentially, if you could get 7 planes and Emeria on the battlefield, you get to reanimate a creature on your upkeep every turn for free. So Emeria, it works well with a lot of the same things that Soulherder works well with. Enter the battlefield creatures, grindy value creatures, so it's kind of a natural fit, especially since Soulherder is in white and blue, and it's pretty easy to play a bunch of dual lands that are also planes to count towards Emeria. So first off, for this plan to work, we got to do a couple of things. Obviously, Emeria needs us to have a bunch of lands. We need to get 7 planes on the battlefield. So for this, we have a couple of options. Skittering Surveyor comes into play. We just search for a basic land, put it in our hand. Golos Tireless Pilgrim, 5 mana, but it tutors a land directly to the battlefield, and it's any land, so it can come down and snag our Emeria. So these cards are fine on their own, just coming down to generate some value, but they get even better if we have Soulherder. Like, let's say we have Soulherder out. We can play Golos, tutor out in Emeria, then on our end step, we can blink Golos, tutor out maybe a planes to get up to the 7 planes we need for Emeria, start reanimating stuff. So a lot of good blink value there as well. We also have Sun Titan, and Sun Titan is kind of the centerpiece of a lot of Emeria decks. Really good creature to reanimate, plus when we reanimate it, we can reanimate something else. Also works well with our ramp plan, because we have Field of Ruin and Irrigated Farmland, and these are lands that put themselves into our graveyard. We can like activate Field of Ruin, tutor out a planes to get towards 7 for Emeria, Sun Titan get back Field of Ruin, maybe we Field of Ruin again to get another plane, Soulherder, blink Sun Titan, get back Field of Ruin again to get another planes. We got a lot of basics in our deck to get with our Field of Ruins, and then Irrigated Farmland is one of those dual lands that is also a planes to work for Emeria, plus we can cycle it, and while we're often just playing it as a tap land, we can cycle it and then get it back with Sun Titan later in the game, turning Sun Titan into a weird form of ramp. So Sun Titan, kind of weird ramp, also one of our best finishers, just big and so much value being provided. Then we have our card draw Soulherder targets. Wall of Omens, Watcher of Tomorrows. So these cards just come down on turn 2, essentially draw us a card. Wall of Omens just straight up draws us a card. Watcher of Tomorrows, a little extra step. It hides away a card, digs 4 deep, which is nice. Then when it leaves the battlefield, we get the card in our hand. So with Soulherder, this just ends up being draw multiple cards every turn. Wall of Omens, draw a card. Soulherder, blink it, draw a card. Watcher of Tomorrows, hide away a card, blink it with Soulherder, get that card, get another card under Watcher. So a steady stream of card advantage. Also, both of these cards are cheap enough that we can get them back with Sun Titan as well. As far as defense, we have a smattering of creatures to work with Soulherder. Reflector Mage bounces a creature, also can't replay it right away, which is nice. Venser bounces anything, including a spell in the stack or lands. Deputy Attention gets rid of a bunch of tokens, planeswalkers, whatever permanent we need to hit. So these cards, again, are good on their own, but even better with Soulherder, where we're reusing their abilities. Like, For example, against Tron, we could potentially just lock them out of the game by like playing Venser to bounce a Tron land, end of our turn Soulherder, blink our Venser to bounce another Tron land, keep our opponent off of their mana, just grind out a ton of value and sort of landlock our opponent if they don't have removal. So removal creatures that work with our Soulherder, rounding out our creatures. Couple of copies of Lone Missionary to deal with burn, just gaining some life and maybe repeatedly gaining life with Soulherder. Flicker Wisp, another blink effect, one-shot blink effect, really good with Sun Titan in specific, where we can like play Sun Titan to get back Flicker Wisp to flicker Sun Titan comes back, reanimate something else, or just any of our Enter the Battlefield triggers. Sometimes we need a card right away from Watcher, for example, and we can hide a card away, Flicker Wisp, get the card to our hand, etc., etc., etc. So decent clock in the air, and another way to blink our stuff. Speaking of ways to blink our stuff, we also have Ephemerate, which is really insane in this deck. Just 1 mana blink something, rebound, so we get to do it again on our upkeep, which means if we have something as simple as a Wall of Omen, Ephemera ends up being like a 1 mana divination, just draw 2 cards, insane with Sun Titan, good with everything, also it exiles a creature, so it's drawing our Soulherder into a bigger threat, so very, very powerful in the deck, and that doesn't even include it like fizzling a removal spell, or us chump blocking with whatever, one of our small creatures, and then blinking it to fizzle the damage, keep our creature alive. So very powerful with our Enter the Battlefield stuff. As far as non-creature spells and interactive spells, Winds of Abandon, it's our budget path to exile, and it's actually really good. The more I play Winds of Abandon, the more I love it. The 6 mana Overload Wrath ability is actually way more relevant than you'd think. So in the early game, we can get rid of a Stoneforge, a Tarmogoyf, a Death Shadow on turn 2. In the late game, we just get rid of everything, maybe get in for a lethal attack. Couple of counter spells, 1 Dovin's Veto, 1 Ojutai's Command, which counters something, maybe can reanimate some of our cheap stuff, draws us a card in the worst case, gain a bit of life against burn. Mana base, we've talked about some of these lands, but for the most part, 2 Emerios, most we could afford under the budget, might pay 3 if budget wasn't a concern, but very strong late game plan. Field of Ruin to attack Tron, also to get us plains, to get back with Sun Titan, Irrigated Farmland in Prairie Stream, give us dual lands that are also plains to count towards Emeria, then a bunch of basic lands. As far as the sideboard, couple of creatures, Lone Missionary and Core Firewalker. Burn is really popular right now, one of the most popular decks in the format. These are our answer cards for the burn deck and really good at dealing with burn. Then we have a bunch of counter spells, Negate Dovid's Veto, Disdainful Stroke, Dapping Sphere for Tron and combo, a Ghost Quarter so we bring in another land destruction spell essentially if we run into Tron. Also really popular, I think Tron and Burn are two of like the most played decks, at least most played non-Stoneforge decks at the moment. Tormod Script in case we run into a graveyard deck, Disenchant to deal with artifacts and enchantments, and that is blue-white Soul-meria for Modern, and that's our budget magic deck for this week. So I'm really excited for this. I love Emeria decks, I love Blink value decks. We are just going to grind and grow Soulherders and get tons of Enter the Battlefield triggers. It's basically like a Panharmonicon-less Panharmonicon deck. Think of Soulherder as our Panharmonicon, giving us a way to reuse all of our Enter the Battlefield triggers, except it's a Panharmonicon that comes on a body that keeps getting bigger, eventually can win the game on its own. So that's Soul-meria. That's our budget magic deck for this week. Let's jump into the gameplay, see how the deck works. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoy it, and I will talk to you soon. Alright, budget magic time. We are playing some blue-white Soulherder Emeria, Soul-meria. Ugh. We have like almost 30 creatures in this deck, and if we draw any cheap creature, these ephemerates are going to be good. The problem is our hand right now is literally doing nothing. We're gonna keep it. I've never met a hand that does nothing that I didn't like. Just imagine if we draw something that draws a card when it enters the battlefield. Look out, opponent. On the other end, if we go like land Sun Titan or something, this will probably not go well. Hopefully our opponent's playing something fair. Alright, Shambling Vent. Probably a Stoneforge deck. Flicker Wisp. Alright, Flicker Wisp is meh. Again, another blink effect. We need something to blink. That's where we're at. We need something to blink, essentially. If we can draw something to blink, then this hand is suddenly going to go from meh to opponent. Bitter Blossom. Okay. That is obnoxious. Oh, is this tokens? Oh, tokens. Okay. Tokens is a little scary. We do have Deputy Detention. That's probably our main answer to a board full of tokens. I guess Flicker Wisp Ephemerate can slow down these fairy rogues. Opponent plays land. Cracks it. Plains. And Spectral Procession. Alright. Yeah. Venser. Oh, play Field of Ruin. Pass the turn. Yeah. We gotta draw Deputy of Detention. That is basically where we're at. We gotta draw Deputy of Detention, and we gotta draw it quick. If we draw Deputy of Detention, we can just keep bouncing these tokens, and that would be very good. Keeping the no action hand. Oh boy. Alright, yeah. Okay, sure. Sure. Well, I mean, I think that's what we get for keeping the two. What do we do about this? The 2 ephemera all land and. Yeah, this isn't great. It's really deputy. Alright, let's go down Ojitai's command. Go down Reflector Mage. We'll trim a couple Winds of Abandon. Although we'll keep a couple because they can get rid of a whole board full of things. Yeah. Alright. Bring in another Lone Missionary. We'll try it like this. Tokens does not seem like our ideal matchup. We just don't have many ways of dealing with the go wide plan. This is Tapland Central here. Gonna be playing a smidge off curve. But this hand actually does things compared to our last hand. It's not the all ephemera hand. Yeah, I guess we should have just mulliganed. Irrigated Farmland. You. Opponent. Untaps. Concealed Courtyard. And passes. Well, Prairie Stream go. Would have been nice to start playing things. Things that do things. But, next turn. Alright, no Bitter Blossoms, please. Some for our opponent. And Stoneforge Mystic. Alright, so that's going to lead to a 4/4 lifelink. We don't actually have an answer for that at the moment. I mean, I guess we can try to, like, slow it down. It's sort of light and shadow. Okay. Opponent passes. Well, let's play Watcher of Tomorrows. Let's take Emeria. We're a lot of lands away from Sun Titan. Play the Prairie Stream. Pass the turn. We do have some blockers, although if our opponent has a sword on a flying creature, it becomes a lot scarier. Plains for our opponent. And passes. Well, 1, 2, 3, play Skittering Surveyor. Grab a Plains. Play the Plains. Pass the turn. Alright. Well, we've got up to Venser mana, and next turn we've got to the point where we can leave up a Dovin's Veto along with playing something. Sort of Light and Shadow is annoying. Protection from white is a big chunk of our board. Opponent Thought Seizes. Ugh. Well, there goes the Venser plan. Although eventually we can get it back with Emeria. Yeah, Venser down. Equips, okay. Well, we can't kill the Stoneforge, but we can chump with Watcher of Tomorrows. Yep. So we'll just block, get our Emeria. Opponent passes. Flicker Wisp. And let's play Wall of Omens, draw a card. Emeria. Pass the turn. We're still a few planes away. We need 3 more planes to turn on Emeria. And we're running out of chump blockers that can actually stop Stoneforge. Although this sword doesn't do that much. Like, taking a hit from this actually isn't that bad. Opponent gains 3, there's no creatures in their graveyard. Sure, we'll take it. Like, yeah, they hit us for 3, gain 3, that's fine. It's like a Kitchen Finks or something. If it was like a sort of Fire and Ice or Feast and Famine, then I'd be scared. But Light and Shadow I'm not super worried about here. The protection is annoying, but it's not that much of a threat. Lingering Souls. Alright, sure. I mean, I think we're trying to set up this Winds of Abandon. We need 1 more land. And we can Flicker Wisp our Skittering Surveyor to get a land for the future. Alright, opponent just equips, that's fine. Opponent passes. Ooh, we draw planes. Yeah, let's Flicker Wisp. I think we can keep waiting. Flicker Skittering Surveyor. Play the planes. Pass the turn. We're actually getting pretty close to turning on Emeria. Flicker Wisp lets us grab another planes. Yep. Alright. Pass the turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're 1 planes away. And now we get to get back Venser, which is nice. And eventually Watcher of Tomorrows. Yeah, I don't know about the sword in our opponent's deck. They just don't have enough creatures for it to really be that scary. Soulherder would be good. That's something we'd like to draw. Opponent gets in, gets in. We will take 4 down to 13. Opponent gonna gain a bit of life. Yeah, we might be fine here. I kind of like where we're at. It's so nice that Modern is pretty fair and interactive at the moment. This has been the most fun I've had playing Modern in literally a year. Oh. Alright, another Stone Forge. That's a bit worrisome. If that can get a real sword, Sword of Fire and Ice. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. Huh. Alright. Wall of Omens. Draw a card. Irrigated Farmland. Lone Missionary. Yeah, but this sword... Yeah, Sword of Fire and Ice, that's a real sword. That's a real sword that's going to cause real problems. Yup. We did not really sideboard as if we were playing against a Stoneforge deck. So now our opponent gets to get in for a ton. And I'm not sure that... Well, we'll see. Opponent gets in. Draws a card, hits us, gains a bunch. Yeah, 2 swords, that's a lot. That's a lot. The only good news is we are going to get Emeria going, not this turn, but the following turn. Opponent just hits our face and draws a card. Okay, sure. Gain some life up to 26. So I think this is probably going to be our Winds of Abandon turn. Opponent passes. Wall of Omens. Well, let's play the Plains. Overload Winds of Abandon. Opponent can get a bunch of lands. We might as well do some attacking. I don't expect our opponent to have any, like, flash creatures or anything. They shouldn't have. Get in. Hit our opponent. Uh-oh. Do they actually... Maybe they're just sending their deck. Hopefully they don't have a flash creature. Alright, now we just need to dodge, like, Field of Ruin. And we have our engine going. Or, well, one of our engines. We still haven't drawn a Soulherder. Opponent. Thinking. Lingering Souls. Okay. There could be something worse than Lingering Souls. Equips. Equips. Opponent passes. Well, Emeria, get back Venser. Venser, bounce Sword of Fire and Ice. Play Wall of Omens. Draw a card. Play Deputy of Detention. Get rid of the spirits. Go to combat. Attack. And the tide may have turned. The tide may have turned. That is usually what happens to tides once Emeria comes online. Opponent pass Flicker Wisp. Well, that's fine. We get a land out of our deck. Does our opponent just have a handful of paths? Apparently. Paths, land. Huh? I mean, that's fine. And we can counter Sword of Fire and Ice on the way back down if we need to. And now we can do some sweetness, like get back Watcher of Tomorrow's, flicker it to get back the card. Maybe that card will be Soulherder or Ephemerate. Sword of Fire and Ice. Yes. That is on the do not resolve list. Pretty high on that list, actually. And there's a Sorin. That's fine. Sorin makes a vampire. Sure. And equips. Yep. Alright, well, we go to our upkeep. We Emeria back Watcher of Tomorrows. Watcher. Well, we will take Soulherder. Then we will Flicker Wisp. Flicker... Interesting. We want this Soulherder, but can we afford to wait? We could also flicker like Venser, bounce a sword, Deputy, exile the sword. Yeah, let's go for Watcher of Tomorrow. Get back our Soulherder. Play Soulherder. Yeah, this should be fine. And then we get back our Watcher at the end of turn, but we get our Soulherder right away. And now we can everything at Sorin. Opponent going to block Deputy. That's fine because we have Emeria going. Sorin down. And then Lone Missionary up to 14. Soulherder. Blink Venser. Watcher of Tomorrows comes back. We take Winds of Abandon. And now we might be good. Venser exiles returns. Bounces a vampire token. And now our opponent has nothing. And we have Soulherder. And we have Veto in hand. And we have a big board. And this is kind of the position we want to be in. And opponent, they scoop it up. Yeah, cannot beat the Emeria. And that went pretty well. For not having a ton of ways of dealing with tokens. Man, maybe we got to keep the Winds of Abandon. If we get to 6 mana before we die, it actually is pretty impressive. And it kills Stoneforge on 2, which is nice. Maybe we just go the vetoes and... Actually, I guess Negate's just better than Veto in this matchup, since our opponent doesn't have counters, so uncounterability doesn't do anything, and Negate is slightly easier to cast. Actually, that's not even that true. I guess it is because of the Field of Ruins, but we have more white mana than anything else. What's our last cut? Maybe we just go 3 Ephemerates, run it like that. That's fine. After our game 1 where we just got Ephemerate flooded, one of these days we're going to draw a mixture of our 8 non-basics and our 8 dual lands and some basic lands so they come into play on tap, but not today. Today's another tap land day. Opponent wins up Heath. Cracks it. This has got to be like a Thought Seize, I assume. Or just gets a tap land. Ooh, that's Soulherder. Well, play Irrigated Farmland. Drawing a basic land that come into play untapped would be pretty nice. We wouldn't mind. Plains for our opponent. Bitter Blossom. That is an issue. Well, let us Irrigated Farmland. Yeah. I guess we can try to Deputy of Detention it eventually. Opponent makes a fairy. Plays a land. And... cracks one sub-beef. Gets Plains. Spectral Procession. Alright. Alright. Let's draw a... Ooh, that's an untapped land. Okay. So, play the island. Deputy of Detention. Undo Spectral Procession. Pass the turn. I guess that's our main way of beating this token deck. And then we have like Flicker Wisp and Soulherders to keep resetting the Deputy. And maybe, I mean, if the Deputy lives, that could work. That is a way that this could work. Getting our Deputy path, though, would be bad. Bitter Blossom Part 2. Ugh. Alright, that is a large number of flying tokens. It is a lot of damage to our opponent, I guess is the good news. Down to 19. Opponent passes. Well, play a Plains. Play Lone Missionary. Gain some life. Go to combat. Get in with Deputy. Opponent down to 15. Maybe we can get our opponent in a position where they're going to die to their own Bitter Blossoms. Next turn we can, like, Soulherder or Flicker Wisp with Negate backup to try to protect Deputy, and that might be able to do it. Opponent gets in for 2, down to 21. And Collective Brutality discards Lingering Souls. Well, alright. I guess we have to negate, because we're going to lose it anyway. And there's a Lingering Souls. Sure. Ooh, we draw Golos. Oh, that would be fun. Unfortunately, I think we gotta wait. I think we have to play Prairie Stream. Can we Golos? I don't think so. I think we just have to play Flicker Wisp. Play Flicker Wisp. Flicker Deputy of Detention. This is where Ephemerate would actually be insane. Pass the turn. Get back Deputy. Snag the fairies. Yeah, Ephemerate on this Deputy, that would be probably the best thing we could find. Opponent's down to 11. Like, they are sort of, kind of trying to die to their Bitter Blossoms. Something like Sorin would all of a sudden really shift the math, though, in a bad way. Sarah the Benevolent. Okay. What does Sarah do? Takes down, makes a 4/4. Yep. Goes attacking. Well, I guess we take it for now. Ugh. Yep. Down to 19. Opponent plays a Godless Shrine. Untapped. Passes. Well, play Golos. We're getting pretty close to being dead, though. Golos snags our Emeria. Yeah, take Emeria. Pass the turn. Ugh, yeah. I think we're in scary shape, though. I'm not sure... Ugh. Our opponent's last card's got to be like Path. And we're running out of ways to deal with these tokens. Opponent untaps. Drops to 7. But we're going to take a... We need a Winds of Abandon. That's what we need to draw. Pumps all the dorks. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, please. Okay. Here comes a big attack. Well, semi-big attack. We will block with Flicker Wisp. Drop to 12. Opponent passes. Well, play Flicker Wisp. Flicker Deputy of Detention. Opponent paths it. So their last card was Path. We take a Plains. Now play Flicker Wisp. Get rid of the Angel. Go to combat. Attack our opponent. Opponent blocks. Man, is there a chance that we're gonna win this? Blocks and blocks. Okay. Sure. opponent, 6, 5. Wow, this is so close. We're actually very much in this game somehow. Sword of Fire and Ice, alright. Equips, pumps. Well, block the one with the sword. Drop to 8. Untap. Ugh, irrigated farmland. That's not what we were looking for. I'll go to combat. Attack our opponent. They got a block. Yep, opponent blocks. Now we play farmland. Play Soulherder. Play Soulherder. Are the Soulherders coming through? They might be. We go to the end of our turn. We blink Golos. We blink Flickerwisp. Flickerwisp comes back. Gets rid of... What do we get rid of? Let's get rid of Sarah. Get rid of Sarah. Soulherders keep growing because stuff keeps getting exiled. Yes. Blink Golos. Grow the Soulherders. Golos comes back. Gets us another Plains, which turns on Emeria past the turn. No removal spell. That's basically it. If our opponent draws a removal spell for our Flickerwisp, we lose. That is the entire game. Otherwise, we win. Opponent. 4, 3, more fairies. Untaps. What is the draw? Oh my! Okay, not enough mana. Okay, we live. I was thinking I could get the sword of black and white, light and shadow. But they don't have enough mana to play it and equip it. Gets a Batter Skull. Yep. Oh, I think we might have this. Goes to combat. Attacks, attacks, attacks. So we have to block here. We drop to 6. Opponent equips a sword. Sarah returns. Emeria gets back Flickerwisp. Flickers the equipped token. Grows our Soulherders. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Winds of Abandon. Off the top. See you later. All the blockers. Whoo! We ground them out. We ground them out. We ground them out. Wow. And that's where our Winds of Abandon actually looks like a really good Path to Exile instead of a really bad Path to Exile. Path to Exile can't do that. Path to Exile would not have won us the game there. But Winds of Abandon does, and we'll take it. Okay. Well, heading into that match, I was thinking there was no way that's a good matchup, because we just don't have that much stuff to deal with the go wide decks, but we got there. Like, the blink value, it adds up, and Golos Emeria, super sweet, especially with Soulherder, and I like this deck. I like this deck so far. Sweet. Alright, budget magic time. We are playing Soul-meria? Soulherder, Emeria, hybrid, sweetness, and well, this is tap land central, but the hand's good. Especially if it's a fair matchup. If it's an unfair matchup, then it's less good. Windswept Teeth for our opponent. This better not be Boggles. Alright, not Boggles. Overgrown Tomb. And Inquisition. Alright, well, we got plenty of possibilities for Inquisition. So, Jund, I assume? We might be able to just outgrind Jund, although the Planeswalkers are a concern. Wrenn 6 actually kills a surprising amount of the creatures in our hand. I don't know what our opponent takes here. Soulherder is most powerful long game. Wall of Omens is an immediate redraw. Ephemerate, okay. Well, that's fine. Irrigated Farmland, goo. Opponent. We would prefer to not get Wrenn 6. Another Inquisition. Alright, that's fine. I mean, our hand is so redundant. Eventually, we get things back from the graveyard anyway. Not super worried about 1-for-1 discard. Like, we draw enough cards with this deck once we get going that I don't think Double Inquisition is really a threat. Tags Watcher of Tomorrows. Yeah, that's fine. We get our Wall of Omens, at least. Reflector Mage. That could be pretty good in the future. Well, that's Wall of Omens. Draw a card. Lone Missionary Part 2. I mean, Lone Missionary's fine. It's not really exciting, but it's fine. An Untap land probably would have been better to start getting to Soulherder. Field of Ruin. Well, we have a million lands, so that's not a problem. another farmland. Well, play Lone Missionary. Gain some life, up to 24. Farmland, Part 2. And pass the turn. This is where we'd like our opponent to tap out, and we can start getting some Soulherder value. Getting our land blown up is actually pretty fine. That gives us 2 basics for untapped duels in the future, and a land in the graveyard for future Sun Titan shenanigans. Ooh, Golos. I'll go to combat, get in with Lone Missionary. I don't know if I really want to run out Soulherder into removal. Whatever. Yeah, we're going to. Soulherder. Farmland. Alright, there's an Abrupt Decay. Sure. Well, now we're mostly rooting for a land for Golos, I guess. Tireless Tracker. And a land for a clue. Opponent passes. Let's just Reflector Mage. Bounce Tireless Tracker. Go to combat. Get in with Lone Missionary. And pass the turn. Opponent cracks. Untaps. Forest. Scavenging Ooze. That's actually kind of obnoxious. Opponent passing. Land. Flicker Wisp. Well, let us Flicker Wisp. Target Wall of Omens. Can we attack? We can't. Alright, pass the turn. Wall of Omens, draw a card. Give us a land! We're pretty far behind our land curve here. Opponent's gonna start eating stuff. Yup. Emeria, creatures. Eats it all. Sure. So graveyard emptied. Wall of Omens. We draw Winds of Abandon. Alright, well. I mean, I guess we can just cast him as bad Path to Exiles if we never get lands. It would be nice to just be able to get rid of everything, but we're not hitting our land drops. Opponent, land. Or tracker, rather. Do they have a land? There's a land. Gets a clue. Untap down to 13. Opponent. Do they go attacking? Wow, they do. Alright. Well, we'll take it. Down to 20. Opponent passes. Not a land. Well, let's Winds of Abandon. Get rid of this Tireless Tracker. Go to combat. Do some attacking. Wow. Alright, Hissing Quagmire block. Sure. Blocks Reflector Mage. Eats Winds of Abandon. Yup. Drops to 8. Well, let's just Lone Missionary back to 24. Pass the turn. I mean, we got through the Tireless Tracker with just 1 clue. We're stuck on 4 lands, but we're putting up a good fight. Bloodstained Mire. Thankfully with no Tireless Tracker on the battlefield. Ooh, okay. Assassin's Trophy Flicker Wisp, that does get us a land, and we have been really wanting a land. Opponent cracks down to 7. They get to go back up to 9. What does our opponent have? Liliana, sure. Ticks up. That is annoying. We will discard a... Let's discard Golos, sadly. Yeah, discard Golos. So opponent can eat 3 creatures, go up to 10, make this a 7 power creature. Ooh, no attacks. Okay. Well, Soulherder's nice. Let's Winds of Abandon. Get rid of the Ooze. Soulherder is a really nice draw. Maybe I guess we should have Soulherdered first to get an extra counter off this Ooze getting exiled, but opponent cracks the clue. Eats Golos. Yup. Gets a land. Ooh, do they not have a land? Yeah, fails to find. Well, now we kill Liliana. Liliana down. Run out Soulherder. Blink Wall of Omens, draw a card. And I mean, I think we might be able to just grind out this deck. Skittering Surveyor, well, that gets us a land. And our opponent, I mean, they're at 8, and we got 6 power on board right now. We're in decent shape, and if they don't deal with Soulherder, we're going to just keep drawing extra cards. All right, kills a Wall of Omens, so that does keep us from drawing extra cards. Liliana, sure. Takes it down, so we'll sack a Lone Missionary. Untap. See what we draw. Plains. Well, go to combat. Kill Liliana. Hit our opponent. Run out Venser. Bounce a land. Blink Venser. Bounce a land. Which, I mean, it's fine. Bouncing the 2 lands, it doesn't do a ton here, but it's something. And opponent scoops it up? Okay. I mean, we just kind of ground out green-black mid-range. Actually, fairly convincingly. That wasn't even that hard, honestly. Okay, that went very well. Very, very well. Our blink value, it is pretty good. Do we want to change anything? I could see bringing in another counter or 2. Maybe like veto, negate, go down a Lone Missionary, and I like all of our value-y stuff. I'm not actually sure what I want to cut. Do we even want to cut anything? Maybe we can cut the Skittering Surveyor. We whiffed on lands last game, but we still got there. Yeah, let's try it like that. Just a couple more counters to deal with like Planeswalkers, maybe Damnation or something. This deck actually seems pretty sweet, especially for being a budget deck. Like, it seems pretty powerful, pretty good. All right, on to game number 2 against Golgari, and all right. I mean, sure, potentially get picked apart by discard, but I mean, that's a pretty solid looking hand. Island go. Boonage, Forest, and Tarmogoyf. Play the plains, pass the turn. Yeah, let's just wait. We could run out Watcher from Tomorrow's. I kind of like leave up counter, next turn Watcher of Tomorrow's, and have Ephemera available. Yield of Guin. Opponent. Passing. Well, let's Prairie Stream. Run out... Run out Watcher of Tomorrow's. I assume our opponent's going to Field of Ruin this Prairie Stream. Take a... let's take Sun Titan. We're actually not that far away from a Sun Titan. Pass the turn. Yep, here comes a Field of Ruin. That's perfect because this allows us to still leave up a counterspell. And then next turn we can potentially Soulherder and have Ephemerate up. The Goyf is growing, but I'm not super worried about Goyf here. Ooh, Plague Engineer. Interesting. Yeah, we can't counter that. Ugh. Yeah, it's actually really bad for us. So it's probably going to name Human. Yeah, I think we have to Ephemerate. We need something for next turn. So Watcher of Tomorrow's, we get our Sun Titan. We get another Hideaway trigger. We'll take Fencer. Plague Engineer. Kills Watcher. We get Venser. Opponent. Gets in for 2. Hits us. Yup. Down to 18. Ephemerate. Yeah, we just lose it. Wall of Omens. Well, play Wall of Omens, draw a card. Play a Plains. Pass the turn. Yeah, I think we got to play it slow and keep trying to leave up counters. The wall can at least block the Goyf at the moment. Opponent. We might be able to get Soulherder going next turn. It is possible. With counter backup, that would be even better. Can't block Plague Engineer very well since it has Death Touch. Eventually, we're actually up to 5 mana next turn, so we're getting close to overloading a Winds of Abandon. Yeah, let's counter that. Opponent. Attacks. Well, we will block the Goyf. Take 2. Down to 16. Opponent passes. Ooh, Reflector Mage. Well, play Field of Ruin. How do we want to do this? Abrupt Decay is uncounterable. Let's play Wall of Omens. Draw a card. Deputy of Detention. Well, play Reflector Mage. Bounce Tarmogoyf. Pass the turn. Trying to be really careful with our Soulherder. We really want to get value out of it, rather than just running it into a removal spell. So we're trying very hard to be able to play it and immediately get value out of it. And 2 mana just means potentially Abrupt Decay. All right, Maelstrom Pulse on our walls. So bad news is we lose our walls. Good news is Soulherder is going to do something. And even better news is if we draw an untap land, we Sun Titan and maybe win. Watcher of Tomorrow's. All right, so we will play Soulherder. We will play Watcher of Tomorrow's. Oh no. We did that backwards, didn't we? We did, very much so. Take Flicker Wisp. Yeah, that was... Okay. Well, if you ever do that, make sure you stack your triggers exactly the opposite way that we did. I was not thinking about the Plague Engineer making it immediately die. Now, Blink Reflector Mage. Bounce Plague Engineer. We mostly want to get this Sun Titan down before our opponent draws Thoughtseize. The tempo plan is working, though. Like, our opponent's on 3 lands. We keep bouncing their stuff. We mostly just want, like, Sun Titan, get back Wall of Omens, and then we're in business. But we're still in a fine position right now. Opponent, Overgrown Tomb, land number 4, untapped. And Tarmogoyf, sure. And passes. Well, that is the Plains, which means we are definitely playing Sun Titan. Bigger, better than Tarmogoyf. Getting back a Wall of Omens. Drawing a card. And passing the turn. Opponent's got to kill Soulherder, I think. I can't imagine them not killing it. They have to. If they don't, it's insanely good for us. Opponent, do you have the removal spell? Okay, we'll blink Sun Titan. Okay, Assassin's Trophy the Sun Titan, that's fine. Grab a Plains. Yep. I mean, that's good for our opponent. They dealt with our first Sun Titan. Eventually, we'll find Emeria stuff to get going. We still have our Soulherder. And we have a Wall of Omens now for blink value. Maybe it was too greedy to bounce Sun Titan. Opponent, getting in with Goyf. Well, we'll take it. Down to 10. Maelstrom Bolt, Soulherder. Sure. Opponent passes. Farmland. Well, go to combat. Get in with Reflector Mage. Hit our opponent. Down to 15. Prairie Stream. And, yeah, I think we just pass. Pass, leave up our Venser. Opponent, combat. Attacks. Well, I think what we do here is actually block the Tarmogoyf. Venser. To pick up Wall of Omens. To cast it again for another redraw. Take 0. Polluted Delta for our opponent. Cracks it. Grabs a Swamp. Plague Engineer, sure. On human. Alright, so let's Field of Ruin. Blow up. It doesn't really matter. Blow up Overgrown Tomb. Opponent's going to float a mana. Okay. So we're up to 6 planes. We need 1 more planes, and we still need our Emeria. So grab the planes. Cycle Irrigated Farmland. Into another Irrigated Farmland. Untap. Planes. Well, let's Wall of Omens. Draw a card. Okay, that's Emeria. That is Emeria. Play Deputy of Detention. Get rid of Tarmogoyf. Play a Plains. And yeah, we'll pass. I think we gotta pass the turn. Alright, opponent, what do you got? Next turn is hopefully, our Emeria turn. We gotta dodge Field of Ruin. We can technically counter Assassin's Trophy. Liliana. Do we even care about Liliana? I'm going to say no. Ticks down. We will sacrifice Reflector Mage. Polluted Delta for our opponent. Scavenger Ooze would be bad. Opponent gets it. We will take it. Down to 8. Well, cycle Farmland. Flicker Wisp isn't horrible. And a Soulherder. Okay. I'll go to combat. Attack Liliana. Golgari Charm. Yeah, I think we gotta veto that. Kill Liliana. Flicker Wisp. Blink Wall of Omens. Soulherder. Emeria. End of turn. Blink Venser. Get back Wall of Omens. Opponent cracks. Overgrown Tomb. Tapped. Okay, Wall of Omens draws us a card. It's a Prairie Stream. Venser gets blinked. Grows our Soulherder. We get to bounce the Plague Engineer. And our opponent has to have an answer to Emeria or an answer to our graveyard, or Sun Titan is coming back, and that is going to close out this game. Whoo! Outgrinded him! Outgrinded him! Too fair for the rock, apparently. The Soulherder value. Alright, opponent. Can you answer it all? Like, they kind of need to answer our board, and they need to answer this Emeria. We have our opponent under a lot of pressure. Opponent. Plague Engineer. Sure, that's fine. Kills Flicker Wisp. Do you have more? Do you have an answer to the Emeria? That's the real question. Liliana. That is also fine. And I think we might have this. Opponent takes down. We will sacrifice Wall of Omens. Upkeep. Emeria for Sun Titan, of course. Sun Titan gets back Flicker Wisp, which flickers Sun Titan. Well, I guess that doesn't actually add much extra value, except for growing our Soulherder. Cycle Irrigated Farmland. Get rid of the Plague Engineer. Grow Soulherder. And I think we might have it. I think we might have it. Soulherder up to 4 power. Go to combat. Liliana, opponent, opponent. Yeah, getting back Flicker Wisp was definitely not the right call. Opponent drops to 7. End of turn. Soulherder bounces Venser. Flicker Wisp gets back Sun Titan, which gets back Wall of Omens. to draw us a card. Oh my god, Ephemerate too. That's decent. Venser, bounce a Shockland. Opponent has so much value, and that is very much what's happening. Oh, this Ephemerate's great too. Oh, I think we got him. Even with the wrong call with the Flicker Wisps. Tireless Tracker. That is acceptable. Sure. Track it up, opponent. Track it up. Opponent. Tireless Tracker. Clue. Sure. And opponent. Passing. Alright, let's just hold on to our Ephemerate. Emeria. We will snag Reflector Mage, I guess. I don't even know if it matters here. Reflector Mage, bounce Tireless Tracker, attack for lethal, potentially. Man, Soulherder's so good. Reflector Mage, pick up Tireless Tracker. Opponent cracks the clue. And opponent scoops it up, cannot overcome the value, and in a world where people are playing fair decks, this deck seems really good, especially on a budget. Just so much value. Emeria could be a thing again because not everyone's playing Graveyard Hate a million times. And yeah, sweet. All right, budget magic time. We are budget soul herding in Modern, and boy, I do like Venser. We're on the play. We're gonna keep this. It's risky. Our blue mana is coming from Field of Ruin, which is slow, but if we actually get to Venser Ephemerate, oh my god. That's a good way to catch back up. Like, that's a lot of bounces of anything. Well, Emeria go. Wooded Foothills for our opponent. Cracks it. Are we getting burnt? Oh, Temple Guard. We're not getting burnt. Oh, boy. Okay. Well, if we get to 6 mana, Winds of Abandon, look out. This might not go well. Oh, Boggles. Razor Verge Thicket. Griff's Boon. Yeah, 6 mana is a long way away. Hyena Umbra. Opponent. Gets in. And we don't even have blue mana, so we're... Yeah. Well, okay. Wall of Omens. Can't block anyway. Well, play Field of Ruin. Field of Ruin, random land. Grab an island, so we actually have blue mana. Opponent grabs a plains. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get 6 mana before we are dead to this Gladecover Scout. Windswept Heath for our opponent. Ethereal Armor. Definitely not getting to 6 mana. So if we draw an untapped blue source, which there are a few of, we can Venser... Yeah, I don't even know. Hyena Umbra. Oh, yeah. Well... Boggles. Opponent gets in, hits us. Down to 9. Passes. That is an untapped blue source. Well, play Prairie Stream past the turn. Well, we will see. Maybe Venser, Ephemerate, Dovin's Veto can keep us alive. Opponent gets a Dryad Arbor. Untaps. Goes to combat. Swings. Well, we will Venser. Bounce Ethereal Armor. Block Dryad Arbor. Down to 5. Can we somehow survive till 6 mana? Daybreak Coronet. Yup. Opponent passes. Huh. That might work. We still need to draw land. Alright, so let's play Wall of Omens. Draw a card. Trying to make sure we hit our land drop. Play Emeria. Wow, are we going to steal this? We might be stealing this. Get in with Venser. Hit our opponent. Ephemerate Venser. Bounce Daybreak Coronet. Oh my goodness, can we survive? Opponent, Ethereal Armor. We gotta hope for no Path. Path on Venser ruins everything. Opponent. Ethereal, oh. That actually might ruin everything too. Yeah, that actually does it. Wow. Alright. Oh, so close. Oh, the second Ethereal Armor. Ugh. 6 mana is a lot. So we get to bring in 2 Disenchants. Disdainful Strokes, Vetoes, etc. Oh, 6 mana is so much. Go down Ojutai's Command. Go down Reflector Mage. Go down maybe like a Sun Titan. Maybe one Ephemerate. What else can we cut? Flicker Wisp And oh, we don't want disdainful stroke. That does nothing. All right, run it like that. Oh, that was so close. We needed one more turn, and we could have overloaded our Winds of Abandon and just stole that game, most likely. Opponent had not much going on, and we would have had Veto left over and somewhat of a board. If they didn't have the second Ethereal Armor, we could have, like, blinked Venser, bounced Griffspoon or something, and blocked, or some combination. Maybe just bounced the Ethereal Armor and went to 1. That was actually really close. Well, that's, I think, our main plan, is getting to 6 mana, which is asking for a lot. Well, disenchants are good. We will keep double disenchant. Double Field of Ruin, but disenchants are fine. Flicker Wisp might be okay once we get the mana for it. And opponent keeping on 6. Whenever you play against Boggles, at least me, I'm always hoping they just mull to Oblivion, because Boggles does that sometimes. But our opponent's been able to avoid that so far. Temple Guard, untap, Glade, Cover, Scout. Yup. Well, Field of Ruin. New. Opponent. Ethereal Armor. Ooh. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess we just disenchant that. That is one of their scarier auras. Take 1. The opponent does have a land. Play Field of Ruin. Pass the turn. Alright. Let's Field of Ruin the Temple Garden. Opponent cracks Windswept Teeth. Temple Garden tapped. Huh. Interesting. We will take an island. I wonder how many Field of Ruins we need for Strip Mine action. Horizon Canopy. Opponent's only got 4 cards in hand. Maybe we can just fight this deck fairly. Spirit Mantle. Okay. Opponent. Yeah, it's it. We would like to keep hitting our lands. That's quest number 1. Land? Deputy. Well, run out Deputy Attention. Get rid of the Spirit Mantle. Pass the turn. Missing our land drops isn't great, though. 6 mana! That's where we need to get in this matchup before we die. Opponent. I mean, it is turn 4 and we're still at 17. I've definitely seen Boggles be way scarier than this, so I guess it's going well for the most part-ish. Even though we're missing our land drops, unfortunately. Wow. How bad is our opponent's hand if they are main phase cracking Horizon Canopy? Their hand must be really bad. Slippery Bogle. Sure. Wow, opponent can't even attack? We will take it. Opponent passes. Land. Soulherder. Well, how do we want to do this? Man, we are not finding land drops. Yeah, I mean, I guess we use our mana, run out Soulherder, attack, Soulherder, exile Deputy. Opponent gets back Spirit Mantle. But then we get back Deputy, get rid of Spirit Mantle. Basically just untaps Deputy, girls our Soulherder. Pass the turn. Opponent. I mean, Soulherder does grow. Maybe we can just grow Soulherder big enough to actually block Boggle's threats. Wow, opponent's passing. What is their hand? I really don't get it. Oh, not a land. Alright, so we will Watcher of Tomorrows. Go digging for a land. Take Plains. Do we even want to attack? What could they do? I don't think they can do anything. Alright, get in with Deputy. I don't think this can go wrong. Hit our opponent for 1. End of turn, blink this Watcher of Tomorrows. Finally hit a land. Grow Soulherder. And we get to get another Watcher of Tomorrows card. Which will be... let's just take another Plains. We really want to hit our land drops. Pass the turn. And somehow our opponent's hand is so awkward that I think we're winning this. Rancor. Okay. Horizon Canopy. Opponent gets in. Well, we'll take it. Down to 14. Opponent passes. Huh. Well, play the Plains. Go to combat. Do some attacking. Wow. Chump block mode. Yup. Pass the turn. Blink. Watcher of Tomorrows. Grow Soulherder. Get a Plains. Take... Yeah, now we'll take Ephemerate, I guess. Pass the turn. See if our opponent cracks Horizon Canopy. Alright, they do, which means we will... we're going to get a blue source. Alright, we will Field of Ruin the Temple Garden. Grab an island. Alright, opponent does have another basic. Well, pass the turn. We have a disenchant in case something goes horribly wrong here. And then next turn we can get Venser, Soulherder, Ephemerate going, which is pretty decent. Emeria not going to be relevant this game by the looks. We're not anywhere close to it. Spider Umbra, sure. Opponent, no attacks. Alright, we untap. Play a Plains. And, yeah, I guess we just pass. Pass the turn. Blink Watcher. Get Ephemerate. Grow Soulherder, which is kind of outpacing these Boggles at the moment with our opponent's hand. I still don't really understand what's in our opponent's hand. Watcher will snag us a Prairie Stream for next turn. And then I guess we'll just discard a hand size. I kind of want to leave up this Fencer. Discard Flicker Wisp. Opponent finds a land. Daybreak Coronet. This is pretty sweet. We get to Venser. This is probably game, actually. We get to bounce Spider Umbra and Rancor and fizzle the Daybreak Coronet. That seems good. Bounce Spider Umbra. Ooh, Veil of Summer. Alright, well in that case, Ephemerate Venser. Bounce Daybreak Coronet. Veil resolves. But opponent can't even really attack. Ephemerate. Blink Watcher. Get back our land. Snag Ephemerate. Play Prairie Stream. 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, let's Deputy of Detention. Get rid of Spider Umbra. Go to combat. Attack. Opponent has to block or they're dead, and that should just do it. Whoo! Okay. Well, I don't know what was going on with our opponent's hand, but we ground out Boggle somehow. Just, like, really fairly with our blink value. Okay. Man, we almost had game 1, too. This deck actually is working surprisingly well. Surprisingly effective. Yeah, let's do that one more time, hopefully. Yeah, I don't think we can keep that hand. Oh, no! Into the Zero Lander. Uh-oh. All right. Let's have the Boggles problem. Let's see a nice... Oh, multi 5. Okay, keep going. Keep going. Well, this, I guess, we'll keep. 4. Show me 4. It should be a lot harder for our opponent to not find a Boggle in a World of London mulligans. Well, we're keeping on 5. Opponent also keeping on 5. Winds of Abandon bottom. Prairie Stream bottom. Keep the counters. All right, opponent's on the play. Let's see how far behind we get. Opponent, land, and Boggle. Glade Cover Scout. We will play a... Deputy's not bad. Deputy gets rid of something on board. Prairie Stream, go. Opponent, Razor Verge Thicket, and Core Spirit Dancer. Ew. Okay, that's not great. That can dig our opponent out of this mulligan. Opponent passes. Plains go. So I think we're on counter something this turn, and then Deputy Spirit Dancer next turn. Hyena Umbra. Opponent draws a card. Wait, I'm targeting that. All right, we're going to let that resolve. Rancor. Well, that will draw out the counter. Opponent does get to draw 2, though, which isn't great. Hits a land. Oh, and something... Oh! Yeah, the Spirit Dancer is totally undoing our opponent's multi 5. And more Rancors. All right, Rancors for days. Well, okay. Opponent gets in for 6. Yeah, that's unfortunate. And then the Rancor goes back to hand. Ugh, yeah. That Spirit Dancer. Probably going to steal this game for our opponent. Well, 1, 2, 3. Deputy of Detention. Get rid of the Spirit Dancer, but the damage has mostly been done. Our opponent drew 3 cards and got in a big hit of damage. Pass the turn. Horizon Canopy. Yeah, well, that Spirit Dancer just swung the game for our opponent, honestly. Rancor, Daybreak Coronet, draw a card. Yup. Well, we fought the good fight, but it's going to go for naught thanks to the Spirit Dancer, and I don't think we have a card that saves us here. Wall of Omens, well, we'll cast it. Draw. Field of Ruin. I mean, whatever. We'll Ephemerate and then concede. Soulherder, yeah. Well, that was a good Spirit Dancer. That was a really good Spirit Dancer. All right, budget magic time. We are playing some blue-white Soulherder, and... all right. I mean, this one's fine. We have our Soulherder, we have a Sun Titan, which is a ways away from being awesome, but eventually we will get there. We know we cycle Ojutai's command. But yeah, this is fine. We have removal, we got creatures. Can't really complain. I don't think this is insane or anything, but it's reasonable enough. Alright, Farmland, go. Opponent. Windswept Heath. Cracks it. Sacred Foundry tapped. Well, play planes. Pass the turn. I mean, I guess worst case we can start Field of Ruining. I don't even know if you run out Soulherder on an empty board. Bloodstained Mire. Opponent cracks it. Mountain. And gather more tokens? Okay. Gather the townsfolk. Well, let's play Field of Ruin. Pass the turn. Mountain for our opponent. Chandra. Ugh. Ill. Okay, this actually looks pretty bad. Opponent, take it up. Hasty Elementals. Goes attacking. Well, let us Field of Ruin. I guess we should have done this earlier, but whatever. Field of Ruin. Blow up Sacred Foundry. Grab a Plains. Opponent gets a Plains. Snow-covered variety. Yup, down to 16. Yeah, we are getting beaten down by these tokens in the Chandra. Wall of Omens. Huh. Well, play Wall of Omens, draw a card. Play Irrigated Farmland, pass the turn. Alright. We'll see. The Chandra's definitely an issue. We are getting kind of close to Sun Titan mana. Intangible Virtue to grow the tokens. Chandra to make some... Oh, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. Here they come. We will block a human. Drop to 10. Untap. Emeria. Well, I think we have to... Winds of Abandon a token. Play Prairie Stream. Soulherder. Pass the turn. Blink Wall of Omens. Draw a card. Grow Soulherder. Another farmland. This might just be too slow. We're just taking such a huge beat down. Opponent. 4 mana. 3 mana. 0 mana. Path of Metal. Okay. Pings everything. That's spicy. Oh, and then they make the hasty tokens? Okay, I guess that's a combo. Opponent, combat. Attacks. Flips. We will block and block. Drop to 8. Lose our Soulherder temporarily. And, Lingering Souls. That's more tokens. I'll play Field of Ruin. Play Sun Titan. Get back Soulherder. Pass the turn. Soulherder. Blink Wall of Omens. Draw a card. Grow Soulherder. Pass the turn. Oh, we're holding on. This Winds of Abandon could help. The Chandra has been insane, though. Opponent. 4 manas. Sarah the Benevolent. Ticks up. Are we just going to get burnt out? Elementals. So we're dead to any burn spell. Opponent goes attacking. Well, we block. We block. We drop to 2. Does our opponent have a bolt? Apparently not yet. Alright. Opponent passes. So let's see. 1, 2. Kill a spirit. 1, 2. Dovin's Veto. Okay. The problem is this deals 2 damage and we're at 2. But these also deal lethal damage. Are we just dead? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Land. Actually, 1, 2. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Kill this. Alright, so Field of Ruin. Kill this. Get a land. Oh, black mana. Interesting. Go to combat. Attack Chandra. Get back Field of Ruin. Opponent blocks. And then end of turn. Soulherder. Blink Sun Titan. Sun Titan. Get back Field of Ruin. Okay. Alright, we are alive because of Ojutai's command. So we have Ojutai's command and a Dovin's Veto. We might be stabilizing. We might be. And then we can Winds of Abandon next turn. We're still definitely in a fragile position. Opponent has multiple Planeswalkers. Not super concerned about Sarah Ultimate, because eventually an overloaded Winds of Abandon will take care of it. We could use some life gain, like a Lone Missionary would be good. Opponent makes some dorks. Another Chandra. Well, we will veto that Chandra. Lingering Souls flashback. Yup. Opponent ticks up. Sure. Big attack. So, blue, white, whatever, whatever. Ojutai's Command. Gain 4, draw a card. Block, block. Drop to 3. Untap. Well, let's cycle Irrigated Farmland. Winds of Abandon with Overload. Grow the Soulherder. Go to combat. Kill Chandra. Hit Sarah. Get back the Irrigated Farmland. End of turn. Blink Wall of Omens. Draw a card. Alright, no bolts. No bolts. No bolts. We're at 3. Phone it. Tap in a bunch of mana. Chandra part million. Yeah. And gather the townsfolk. Sure. Sarah taking up. Opponent somehow has 0 non-basic, so we can't actually kill their lands with these Field of Ruins. Ooh, Deputy's pretty sweet. Deputy of Detention. Snag the humans. The Soulherder's up to 9 power. Wall of Omens. Draw a card. Watcher of Tomorrows. Hide away a card. We'll take, I guess Flicker Wisp. Play Emeria. Go to combat. Kill Chandra. Kill Sarah. End of turn. Soulherder. Blink Wall of Omens. Draw a card. Ooh, Ephemerate. That's interesting. I mean, we're still dead to a bolt, and we can't stop that. Wow, we got there! Okay! Maybe this deck is good at beating tokens deck somehow. It doesn't seem like it should be, but maybe it is. Okay. Well, opponent's playing a bunch of Planeswalkers, which I think means we want the vetoes and possibly the negate. Core Firewalker is also interesting, but our opponent has a lot of white creatures. We'll go down the Ojutai's Command, even though it was pretty essential to keeping us alive that game. Go down Reflector Mage, maybe Ephemerate. Deputy of Detention Ephemerate is our best plan against these token decks. Alright, we'll go 3 Ephemerates. Disenchant, no. Alright, let's try it like that. Just bring in some more counters, give it a go. Leyline of Combustion. Alright, Legion's Landing. This hand seems pretty good. We don't have an easy way of dealing with we don't have an easy way of dealing with tokens until we get to 6 mana. But we can start generating value. Wall of Omens, Lone Missionary, Soulherder, etc. And our opponent, they're down to 2 cards. They just kind of dumped their hand, and the end result was a 1-1. So that's good. Well, Wall of Omens, draw a card. Alright, raise the alarm. Well, it's more 1-1s. And it flips the Legion's Landing. Although I guess we will Field of Ruin it eventually. Pass the turn. Inspiring Vantage. What's the last card? Lingering Souls. Alright. Opponent's running it all out there. No cards in hand. We'll block. Take 2. Deputy of Detention would be sweet. Field of Ruin. Well, I think we just play the Plains. Play Soulherder. Blink Wall of Omens. Grow Soulherder. Make sure we keep hitting our land drops. Ooh, Ephemerate's sweet. Ephemerate's super sweet. Opponent, untaps. Ooh, Path. Well, the good news about Path is this does get us an extra land. And that extra land is pretty relevant here. Opponent, beatdowns. We will block 1. We will drop to 13 temporarily. We're almost to Winds of Abandon, though. We are to it next turn if we play... Alright, so we will Lone Missionary. Go up to 17. Emeria. Pass the turn. Leave up Dovin's Veto in case there's a Planeswalker. Next turn we get to Winds of Abandon the board, and there's probably a pretty decent chance that just closes out the game. Opponent, Sacred Boundary tapped. Makes a Adanto token. Sure. Goes attacking. Well, we will... Let's block, and then just Ephemerate Lone Missionary. Go up to 21. We might even be able to wait one more turn. Ephemerate Wall of Omens. Draw a card. Play Field of Ruin. Interesting. I think we blow up this Adanto. Take 2. Grab a island. Play Watcher of Tomorrows. Take a... Good lord. I guess we'll take Sun Titan. I don't even know if we need another Winds of Abandon. So this turn we block. Leave up our counterspell. Next turn we can sweep the board. Hopefully our opponent flashes back this Lingering Souls. And they do. Okay, so we are pretty much exactly where we want to be. Squadron Hawk. Well, okay. Squadron Hawk is a bit annoying. That does mean our opponent's going to be able to rebuild a little bit after this Wrath. And they're going to have a lot of lands out of their deck. Opponent. Big attack. Well, we will block. Drop to 11. I think we can beat 2 Squadron Hawks, though. Land? Sun Titan. Well, yeah, let's do it. Overload. Winds of Abandon. Man, Winds of Abandon's been great. When I put it in the deck, I was thinking it was Budget Path, and it has just been so impressive as a Wrath. Because this deck is pretty good at stalling out. Well, get in, hit our opponent. And now we have Sun Titans and Flicker Wisps, and we're in pretty good shape. Here comes Squadron Hawks. Yup, Hawk number 1. Hawk number 2. We would like to keep leaving up this Dovin's Veto, just as a safety measure. Ooh, there's a land. Alright, so play the land. Go to combat. Let's attack with 1. Opponent takes it. Down to 18. Play Golos. Get a irrigated farmland. Pass the turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we got both of our islands, so we're still a bit away from turning on Emeria, but we don't have anything in our graveyard, so I don't know if it even matters. Opponent passes. Another Emeria. Well, play Emeria. Go to combat. Attack. Attack. Opponent takes it. Flicker Wisp. Flicker Golos. Flicker Wisp. Flicker Watcher of Tomorrows. Get back a Sun Titan. Get back both of our creatures. Oh, the value! Watcher of Tomorrows takes a Soulherder. Golos snags us another land. We'll just take... Yeah, let's take Field of Ruin. And pass the turn. And I think the tide is turned. This has been a pretty good performance. Opponent, another land off the top, cracks it down to 11. And I think we've just Soulherded them. Opponent, no attacks, passes. We draw planes. Well, play the planes. Go to combat. All attack. We're fine with stuff dying since, wow, opponent just given up. Given up! No way out from the Soulherder, and this deck seems pretty good for a budget deck. The hybrid of Soulherder and Emeria, it seems sweet. Oh man, Golos is so perfect for this deck. I like this one. This deck is fun, and Modern is fun at the moment. Well, on to the next. On to the next. All right. Budget Magic time. We are playing some blue-white Soul-meria, Soulherder, Emeria, Wombo combo. Actually just value. Not really too many combos. Some synergies, I would say, but just grinding them out. Snow-covered forest for our opponent. Ancient... Oh, are we getting Troned? What is... Oh, we're definitely getting Troned. Alright, well, I mean... We have Damping Spheres, we have 4 Field of Ruins, and we have ways to get back our Field of Ruins. We'll see if that's enough. We don't have any Field of Ruins in hand, and we don't have any Damping Spheres in the main deck. I never feel comfortable against Tron, but it seems like this deck should at least have a chance? Some chance of keeping up with it. Wall of Omens. Draw a card. The problem is if they land a big Planeswalker, then things become very difficult. Prairie Stream. Opponent untaps. Do they have the Tron land? Cracks Expedition map. Gets the mine, plays the mine. Field of Ruin. Venser. Oh, Venser can do it next turn. Well, play the land. I guess we just gotta hope to fade it. Play Soulherder. I mean, Venser Soulherder can lock our opponent out of ever playing Tron. The problem is if our opponent Trons in something huge this turn, then they have us. So we get to draw a card. We grow the Soulherder. Come on, no Tron. No Tron. Okay, Power Plant. That's not Tron. And what's the follow-up? Karn. Okay. Not super worried about Karn. Karn tutors for what? Oh, this is actually going to be pretty sweet. Gets a liquid metal coating. Okay. And passes. Ooh, we draw the Field of Ruin too. So I think what we do here is we play Prairie Stream. We Flicker Wisp. We Flicker Wisp Wall of Omens to grow Soulherder. That lets Soulherder kill Karn. And then end of turn, Soulherder blinks Flicker Wisp. We draw a card. Another Field of Ruin. Flicker Wisp comes back. We get to get rid of Urza's Mine to make sure our opponent doesn't accidentally have Tron this turn. Snow-covered forest. Oblivion Stone. Opponent gets back their Tron land. Yep. Well, we untap. Play Field of Ruin. Go to combat. Attack. Hit our opponent for 7. And then we Venser. Bounce Oblivion Stone. Blink Venser, bounce Urza's Mine. End of turn. Blink Venser. Wow. Okay. Well, I guess this is our plan against Tron. Venser, lock him. Alright, pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Down to 13. Replays the Mine. Thragtusk. Okay, so that keeps our opponent alive. Oh, goodness. Ephemerate. That we like. That we like. So, let's Ephemerate Venser. Bounce Urza's Mine. Play Field of Ruin. Go to combat. Attack. Opponent takes it. Down to 9. Play Golos. Take a Field of Ruin. End of turn. Soulherder. Venser. Bounce Power Plant. Grow Soulherder. Pass the turn. Oh boy, it feels good to wreck Tron. It feels good to wreck Tron. Oh, it is the best. And opponent done! Done! Cannot beat the lock! Not enough removal! They had the Oblivion Stone and a Thragtusk, and it just was not enough. Alright, well, we get to bring in a Ghost Quarter. We get to bring in 3 Damping Spheres, and I'm thinking that's probably about it. We can go down Ojutai's command. Maybe the Reflector Mage is kind of meh. Lone Missionary. Life gain is not super helpful against Tron. Disenchants or more counters could be good. Maybe we go down Skittering Surveyor for a Dovin's Veto and like maybe 1 Ephemerate for a Disenchant. Yeah, let's try it like that. Whoo! Man, that felt good. Venser locking Tron has got to be one of the sweetest things. Sweetest things you do in all of Modern. Oh, it always feels so good. Well, take that, Tron. 1 land Damping Sphere. I think we got a mulligan. Well, okay. I do like multiple Field of Ruins. Alright, we'll keep. We will put... let's put Ephemerate to the bottom. If our opponent has... Okay, I was going to say if our opponent has a Nut Draw, they could Tron before we can Field of Ruin, but since they led on a Forest, that's not going to happen. Farmland, go. Opponent, Urza's Mine, and Sylvan Scrying. Alright, trying to get Tron set up. Grabs the Power Plant. Well, play Field of Ruin. Play Wall of Omens. Draw a card. Pass the turn. There's the Power Plant. And Chromatic Star. And cracks it. And passes. Ephemerate. Well, play Field of Ruin. Field of Ruin, Power Plant. Get a Plains. Pass the turn. We might start ephemerating this Wall of Omens. Ancient Stirrings for our opponent. Do they find a missing Tron piece? Ooh, Crucible. Okay. That is bad. Well, let's Ephemerate Wall of Omens. Draw a card. Ephemerate Wall of Omens. Draw a card. Play Deputy of Detention to get rid of Crucible. Emeria. Pass the turn. Opponent. Oh, that's bad. That's bad news. Gets back the Power Plant. Yeah, that's very bad. Sylvan Scrying. So now it's going to be very hard to keep our opponent off Tron. If not impossible. Huh. So I guess what we have to do... this doesn't feel good. Field of Ruin's a Power Plant. Maybe we should have just Disenchanted instead of Deputied. That might have been a misplay. Grab a Plains. Disenchant Crucible. Play Prairie Stream. Pass the turn. Yeah, I don't know about this. Opponent. Tower. Oblivion Stone. Passes. Well, play a land. Play Watcher of Tomorrows. Find... I guess Dovin's Veto. Play Soulherder. Pass the turn. Blink Watcher. Get the Veto. Yeah, I think we misplayed by not disenchanting and running out the Deputy instead. So we get the Veto that we can't cast yet. We'll take a Field of Ruin. Well, we'll see. Can we fade Tron for another turn? Opponent. Oh boy. Sylvan Scrying Part 3. So there's Tron. What's the payoff? Ooh, nothing? Nothing yet? Opponent passes. Well, we will go to combat. Attack. Hit our opponent. This might be working. Opponent's thinking if they should crack Oblivion Stone. We actually kind of hope they do. because we need this Field of Ruin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're getting close to Emeria as well. If our opponent doesn't crack Oblivion Stone, we're going to have to run out a Flicker Wisp to its certain demise to get back this Field of Ruin. Opponent lost connection. All right. Waiting for our opponent to return. All right. Opponent takes it. We will Flicker Wisp. So we're losing a Flicker Wisp, but I don't think we have a choice. We have to get back this Field of Ruin. This might draw out the Oblivion Stone. Yep, there's the Oblivion Stone. So we get back the Field of Ruin. We play Field of Ruin. We Field of Ruin Power Plant again. Grab a Plains. So our opponent still have basics. They do. All right, pass the turn. What you got, opponent? Another mine. Another Oblivion Stone. Okay, sure. Opponent passes. Ooh, Sun Titan. That's interesting. Well, I think we just Golos. Golos gets us a Prairie Stream. That gets us up to 7. So now we have... Ooh, if nothing goes horribly wrong here, now we have enough planes to start Emeriaing. Really would not like to get Troned here. Something like Ulamog would be very bad. 8 mana. Is this a Big Ballista? Big Ballista's fine. Big Ballista, sack Sanctum of Vugan. Gets a Worm Coil. Oh, we can outvalue this all day. Not super worried about random creatures. Emeria can get us back a... Let's Watcher of Tomorrows, which finds a Sun Titan. Lands to the bottom. We draw Winds of Abandon. Well, let's play Sun Titan. Get back Field of Ruin. Field of Ruin. Blow up the tower. Get a Plains. Opponent's out of lands finally. All right, and pass the turn. And I think we might have him where we want him. Our opponent can Wrath our board, but I don't think that that's going to be enough. Like, this Oblivion Stone's probably not going to actually be able to do it. Opponent. And now we have Strip Mine lock achieved. So our opponent's going to have a hard time ever getting... All right, there's a Worm Coil, sure. Opponent passes. So Emeria gets back Wall of Omens. Draws us a card. Field of Ruin. Field of Ruin a mine. Put our opponent down to 5 mana. I think we got him. Get a Plains. Play Winds of Abandon with Overload. And opponent scoops it up, taking down Tron and Budget Soulherder, taking on almost all covers. Boggles got us. Other than that, though, this deck felt great. It felt like legitimately, really awesomely great, and it was super fun, and yeah. All right, that was a good one. That was a good one. Whew, oh man. Nothing feels better than sticking it to Tron, and we really stuck it to Tron that game. Sweet, sweet, sweat. So what do we learn this week about blue-white Soul-meria in Modern? And the deck, it kind of crushed it. We went 4-1 in our 5 matches, so really just kind of took on all comers. Well, all comers except for Boggles. Boggles did get us. That's a tough matchup. We don't really have the interaction to deal with Boggles. It naturally gets around so much of what we're trying to do. We made it close in our games against Boggles. If we get to 6 mana, Winds of Abandon is good, but we don't have that much to interact with the Boggles plan. On the other hand, we took down the Rock, green-black mid-range, a couple of different token stacks. We locked Tron out of the game with Venser and blinking it with Soulherder, which was really sweet. So we took down a lot of really legit decks, and I gotta say, the deck felt very strong and really powerful, actually, especially for a budget deck. So we just have so much good value creatures. We got a strong curve. We got lots of weird card advantage. I was very impressed with our one Golos, to the point where maybe we want another Golos. Being able to just directly tutor out Emeria the Sky Ruin was very powerful, and against like Tron, we can snag Field of Ruins. So I was very impressed with how Golos was with the deck, and that doesn't even include the extra value of soul herding it. Ephemera is insane. Venser is so sweet in this deck. Like I said, the Tron lock with Venser was super awesome. So the deck just all around felt really competitive, and I think it's a deck that takes advantage of our post-banning Modern world. Like, right now in Modern is actually kind of fair and interactive and fun. Like, for the first time in a while, you're not necessarily super worried about dying on turn 2 all the time, or like mulliganing to 3 to hit a ley line to have some chance of staying alive against Hogak. It's a really fun and interactive format. format right now. Plus, with some of the graveyard stuff, Faithless Looting Hogak being banned, that means there's not as much graveyard hate, which means Emeria suddenly has a chance to shine. I think you can actually get away with playing a fair, quote-unquote, graveyard deck at the moment with something like Emeria because not everyone is just incidentally hating out the graveyard. Not everyone's playing main deck Surgical Extractions. So it gives this deck a chance to shine, plus with the combo-y aspect of the format kind of being minimized right now, and everyone trying like burn decks, Tron decks, Stoneforge decks, you can grind out a lot of value with a shell like this. You can play your Wall of Omens and then blink your Wall of Omens, and that plan is actually realistic. It's not like, okay, I'm just dead on turn 2, so you actually have time to do this cool, fun, interactive stuff. And I think Soul-meria is actually a pretty good budget option. We played a lot of really fun games. The deck is just a blast to play. It just, if you like Enter the Battlefield value, you like drawing extra cards, doing tricky things, this deck is perfect for that. It's in a good place budget-wise, seems competitive enough to keep up in our current format, so if you're looking for something blinky and different and budget-friendly to play in the format, or if you've been following Budget Magic forever and you have the old Blue-White Emeria deck from like 2016, this seems like a pretty good way to kind of update and change that deck for our current modern format. So I had a blast with Soul-meria. I am super thrilled to be back from Vegas, back to making videos. Thanks for waiting for me. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, that's been our Budget Magic for this week. Soul-meria for Modern. Thanks again for watching. Again, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.